All 5 people on board a charter plane have been killed after it crashed into a shopping centre in Melbourne.
It's the worst air accident in the state of Victoria in 30 years. The crash occurred about 13 kilometres north of central Melbourne, beside one of the city's busiest motorways. The aircraft was taking off from Essendon Airport when it suffered engine failure and smashed into the adjacent DFO shopping mall. One News Australia correspondent Ruth Wynne-Williams joins us live from the scene shortly, but first, here's Kimberly Downs with how it all unfolded.
The chilling final descent of a fatal flight caught on camera. Moments later, sights and sounds of utter chaos. Blaring sirens from incoming emergency services, intermittent explosions as parked cars burn.
The plane just crashed at DFO, Essendon Fields, hit the wall.
The wreckage and the bodies of 5 victims somewhere in this carnage. From the air, the plane's burning skeleton clearly visible. So too the gash it cut in the roof of this shopping centre. One witness saw the plane clip the roof and cartwheel into the mall shortly before 9 a.m.
It was shaking on the way down. It was a metre from the top of the roof, and that's when I just ran away, and then I heard the big crash and saw all the flames.
It happened just 1 hour before the centre opened, meaning it was empty, apart from workers.
I think if it had been a metre lower, I probably wouldn't be here, to be honest, because it went straight over the top of me.
We've felt the explosion, we've felt the shockwave from it, like the car shaken. We've just jumped out, saw the fireball going up. First thought was, someone's set off a bomb in like one of the bins.
Debris spraying onto the nearby motorway stunned drivers watching on. It's believed that 5 people were on the chartered flight, reportedly 4 Americans and a local pilot. They were heading to a popular golfing destination on King Island.
Close to taking off from the runway, it called in a mayday. We understand that there potentially was a catastrophic engine failure.
Victoria's Premier offering support for the families of the victims.
Today's a desperately sad day, a very, very sad day for our state. A number of people have died as a result of what is the worst civil aviation accident that our state has seen for 30 years.
Investigators now looking into what went so tragically wrong. Kimberly Downs, One News, Sydney.
All right, let's go to Ruth Wynne-Williams now in Melbourne. Details still coming out there, as we know, Ruth. What's the latest you can tell us?
Simon, the motorways here have now reopened. The Tullamarine Freeway is just below me here, and you can get some idea of just how close this plane came to slamming down on the busy traffic this morning. The fireball emerged from the building just behind me here, and a wheel was found on the motorway below. Max Quartermain has now been named as the pilot of that aircraft. He was a 63-year-old, well-known charter pilot. His company was Leisure Aviation. He is being reported to have had 4 Americans on board the plane with him, and reports are that they were trying to return to Essendon Airport this morning when they slammed down into the DFO.
Is there any more information available about what may have happened just before the crash?
Simon, we know that the pilot put out at least one mayday call this morning before the plane came down with such force that terrified staff at the shopping centre were forced to jump right out of the way. Motorists have, of course, described feeling the heat from the explosion in their cars as they were driving past. The Premier is, of course, calling this Victoria's worst aviation disaster. But because it happened just before 9 a.m. here at the shopping centre, the death toll is only at 5. It could have been far worse.
In Melbourne, Ruth Wynne-Williams, thank you.